folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Enjoying the beautiful day, lovely weather, because it's not going to be this way much longer. By Friday or Saturday, they're calling for 90s, maybe even mid-90s by the end of the weekend, first of next week. So it looks like that we're having at least the first taste of real summer. And maybe, because it's that time of the year, it may last for a while, and it's been an unusual year. And they're telling us, I mean, the United Nations and the Bill Gates and all those kind of guys are letting us know that we're all going to die because cows are farting and you eat too much meat and it's warming the earth and it's all your fault. See, the Freudian slip there. It's all your fault because you drive around on these gas guzzlers. And we're going to cook to death. Anyways, well, in case you haven't paid any attention to the news, which most of you probably couldn't care less, but Hunter Biden, yeah, the president's son, I use that term very loosely. I almost never call him that. Joe Biden's son was convicted on 3 felony counts in regards to firearms because he lied about the fact that he was legally not allowed to be purchasing a firearm, and he did so. And there's, of course, the videos and the pictures of him when he was high on drugs with it. Now, there's a couple of things going on here. Number one, Joe Biden has come out and said that he will respect whatever the jury finds him, whatever they convict him of and everything, sentence him for. And that hasn't happened yet. He could get sentenced up to 25 years. I highly doubt that will be the case. In fact, I would be surprised if he gets more than just like some kind of probation or house arrest or something like that. But regardless, there's another point here that I want to make. I'm just going to do it because I know it's going to make some of you mad. I disagree with this judgment. I think Hunter Biden should rot in prison for a lot of things. Really do. I think he's done some horrible things. There's overwhelming evidence that he's done extremely inappropriate things with minors, money laundering, and selling secrets to the foreign entities. There's all kinds of stuff that they could throw Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and his brother, all of them in prison for. I don't agree with this one because I think it's a violation of the Second Amendment. And I know a lot of you are going to say, like, oh, wait a minute, Second Amendment doesn't apply to felons. Where does it say that at? Here's my theory on that. In the same way that gun control only prevents honest people from having guns, the laws that prevent felons from legally acquiring firearms only prevent the honest, decent felons. The ones that are going to do bad things and commit crimes and that are felons, they're going to have a firearm regardless. They don't care. They don't care. They're going to commit a crime. They don't care. But the decent people that are, have a felony background, they're not going to have one. So I disagree with it. I think the Second Amendment I'm a purist, and I don't agree with that. And there, you can all, or at least some of you, can explode in the comment section. I take a very ultra-libertarian position on this. New York arrested several ISIS terrorists that came into the country illegally. I mean, 8. So it's not the millions and millions that's coming across the border, but if there's 8, there's more, Joe Biden, also, maybe nothing. Could be nothing, but you know how, I know some of you are really big into like the signs and the signals that these elites and how they're doing things all secretly, like playing their game of chess. Oprah Winfrey is fallen ill in the hospital, not doing too well according to the news. Is that another distraction? Does that mean something, or is it just a coincidence? Because it wasn't that long ago, and I don't care. I've never followed her, but I do remember seeing something in the news about how everyone was talking about how healthy she's looking for her age and how young she looks. and she's ill. Maybe it's nothing, but between that and the Hunter Biden news coming out today, it could just be a big distraction from something else. Russia's playing around with hypersonic missiles just off the coast of the United States, and people just think it's not a big deal, and I think that's foolish. The main thing I want to talk about today, again, is going back to guns, but on a different thing. Joe Biden talked again today. I should use the word speak or talk very loosely. He fumbled and bumbled and mumbled his way through some kind of a speech, and he once again was talking a lot about guns. That's just like his little go-to thing, is to talk about how no one needs high-capacity magazines and AR-15s that can take out entire cities. I mean, these things are like nuclear weapons, man. You fire an AR-15 at someone, and I mean, it'll just completely explode a person. And they're so powerful, and no one needs them. And he's going to take them away from people. Well, anyways, in his mumbling speech, he once again referenced that, and for all of you people out there that think that you're going to take over the government, or think that if you disagree with the government that you're going to set things straight, you're going to need an F-15 to do that. Is that a thinly veiled threat? I mean, this has come up before, and it kind of makes me wonder if it's not just, here's the thing. I often wonder if some of Biden's bumbling around and senility is done on purpose so that they can say, oh, it's just this feeble old man, just ignore it, when in fact it's done purposeful. And I kind of believe that this is one of those purposeful things that's being said and done. And I think they're trying to send a message. I mean, like I talked about this morning, a lot of Europe is upset. I mean, they're upset that certain conservatives are getting into office and they're rioting. And there's been a pretty regular discussion here in the United States of how we're on the verge of a civil war. Or, the MAGA, they're the most dangerous threat to American history. They're going to try to, do January 6th, but even make it worse this time. And there may be a purposeful threat in there to say, if you think that you're going to try to do this again, you're going to need more than just your AR-15s. Which, the counter argument is, well, if I can't take over the government with an AR-15, then why are you worried that I have one? Anyways, he also made some statement about people having 200 round magazines that hold 200 shells. Man, I wish I had one of those. But anyways, the point that I'm trying to get to is that among all the other problems that I often talk about on here that's going on in our country and around the world, one of them certainly is the real possibility of hostile tensions rising in this country to the point of a civil war-like conflict. And for those of you that haven't thought seriously enough about this, I want to let you know that it's not going to look anything like what you grew up in school learning about an American Civil War. That, well, technically wasn't a civil war anyways, but that's not going to be how it works. We're talking guerrilla warfare. We're talking gangs, terrorist groups, foreign entities, government, factions of every different size and shape, and you're not even going to hardly know who's to trust and who's not to trust. It would be bad. And you can disagree with me, but I think that it's possible, very possible. I'm not saying it is going to happen. I'm saying that I believe that it's becoming more and more of a possibility. And I am not reassured by the fact that the majority of the guns in this country are owned by conservatives, and that all of the examples that we've seen of these far left appear to be very emasculated, ultra-feminized, weak, incompetent lefties. That doesn't reassure me either. because it doesn't take much intelligence to pull a trigger. It doesn't mean that they're proficient in it, but I'm not confident in that. I think that it would be very bloody and it would be very bad. And I really do believe that the government wants it. I believe that the far left, they want it. They want a conflict like that. I think that that's why there was all these standing down orders and stuff at January 6th. They were hoping it went further than it did. And they're going to keep poking and poking around until they get the right kind of thing. That's why you see all of these LARPing around feds, dressed up in Patriot front and Nazi type outfits, walking all over the country trying to just stir things up. They want that to happen. They want Antifa. They want more riots. They want foreigners. They want Muslims. They want trans. They want all of these people in conflict with each other, in conflict with us. And I think it's a warning. If you think that you're going to try to do anything, it's not going to happen. Instead of reassuring his people, because he's not just the president of the left, he's the president of everyone he's supposed to be. And you would think any decent man that's trying to bring about peace in his own nation would handle things very differently. But that's not what they want. And that's why we have to be ready for it. We have to be getting ourselves ready. And that's not just getting ready in a combat, so to speak, manner. I mean, yes, you should be doing that too. You should be, stocking up and training. And this camera thing is loose. And it's a bumpy road, I know. Yes, you should be doing that kind of stuff. But there's more to it than that. If you truly think that we're going to resist and mount any type of resistance, or even if it's not about resistance, even if it's just about protecting ourselves when everything falls apart and becomes chaotic, if you think we're going to be able to do that and not have control of our own supply lines, be still dependent upon the system, it's not going to be a very long-lived battle. That's why I promote extensively and profusely to be self-sufficient in your communities, your groups, your mags, to work towards group self-sufficiency, where your food and your water and your medical and your shelter and all means of production as best as you can are done or capable of being done in-house. Because when things start falling apart and they start pulling the plug on everyone, you can't do much resisting when you're hurt, hungry, starved, ill, and everything else. So it's time to get your houses in order, folks, and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.